said it's the fourth time.
Ah, Chris is back.
I'm back. Yeah. I guess we're ready.
I mean,
Oh.
well, now it is, I think.
Yeah.
There's a delay, so I
There is
don't
a
know
delay.
because I just saw it happen there.
Yeah.
I didn't see it happen there.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. I don't even know anymore.
That happens to me a lot. I start getting caught up on here, and then I'm like, oh, so forgive me as I, What's up, everybody?
What's up? Let's go.
Yeah, let's get it.
As everybody's been saying. Welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. Derek here. And
It's
with me
Larry.
is-
Yeah.
It's a Larry.
It's a Larry.
Appreciate you guys being back here, of course, as well. Malcolm, STE, me. Hey, Derek from Sony's there too. Malcolm, welcome back as well. And yes, I don't believe that it's already the 8th one too. It doesn't really
It's
feel
crazy,
like it.
right? Did you say what's up
Yes.
to Alan? Yeah? Did I miss that?
What, going down the list,
Oh, my bad.
Chris is next. Chris, welcome back. Appreciate you being here as well. Let's see, Multipolar World, of course. Welcome back, and we're good. We got
Antonio.
Antonio. Welcome to the party, sir. So, we'll get to some of these questions, but I want to kind of set something up because obviously.
Right.
This is a bit different than normal. It often seems like we are inconsistent with where we are, but fortunately, I guess is probably the better way, is that we have been doing a lot of things that
Yes.
people will see in the future, which will
Yes.
be great. So make sure if you would do us the great favor of liking and subscribing to the Sony Support channel, liking the video, commenting, let us know how you're doing, of course, and we'll answer some of these questions. But what are we here for, Larry? What do we do? What is the point of all this?
So we have a bunch of things that we do, right? But ultimately, we want to do, I think, a couple of major things, and that's to answer any questions, especially those questions that you have and you don't seem to be able to get the answers as quickly as possible, or maybe not an answer that makes sense. This gives you the opportunity to have two-way dialogue with Derek and myself to get to the root of the challenges or situations so we can be problem solvers. Additionally, we also like to be the voice of you all as viewers. If there's things that you would like to see with future products, if there's things that you really love about products, our engineers and the business units, they'd love to hear about those things as well. But overall, Derek and I just like to hang out. Who do we hang up? No, we hang out. That's what we do.
Hang out.
Derek and I enjoy hanging out wherever we can, and we are truly committed to making sure, regardless of what's going on,
Yeah.
we're here.
We try to
every
make it
month
happen.
as much as we can.
Yeah.
Great comment from our friend Wyatt, by the way.
Okay. Can I order iced coffee? Yeah, I got
Yeah, that's your thing. I don't do coffee.
I got you covered.
Yeah. So, like Larry said, any questions, comments, whatever, we want to hear it. We'll do our best to answer those things to help support and answer those questions about Sony, give you a little bit more information that maybe you're having trouble finding, but also to the point of, and we've gotten a ton since we've started this, of just like people like, oh, it'd be cool if you did this, or this feature would be awesome. We can't make promises of what will happen, but we can promise that we will deliver that information, that feedback to the people that have the ability to potentially make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we try our best. So,
good.
also, one last thing I want to add.
Okay.
If you do have very specific questions about deciding the right product for your needs, we do offer the one-on-one consultation program as well, where you can spend 30 minutes with an expert to kind of get that good back and forth, because sometimes that's tough to do through comments on YouTube, but we'll do our best. And speaking of comments on YouTube, what do we do there?
Well, we definitely make sure that we answer. No, please, yeah. If things pop up and they're not covered on the show, a couple of things that Derek and I like to do is make sure that we're involved and answer as many questions as possible. And honestly, that's whether or not it's here on the support channel or on the Sony Electronics channel as well. And we want to make sure that we're answering all of those questions.
Yeah, and if you have any questions and you're watching this when it is not live, you can definitely put that question in here, and we'll do our best to answer it there, but it might even become something that we address on Extra Sauce or the next episode, or maybe we'll even make a short about it, because there have been some really good questions we've gotten that we want to make content about.
Absolutely.
So, without further ado, though,
Yes.
Let's kind of get started. Say hello to some folks. Chris is asking how we're doing. How are you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Living the dream.
No.
No? Okay. Nah, I'm actually doing great. Anytime I get a chance to work with our team that we work with regularly, and also you, Derek, it's always a good time.
Yeah, we got some really good people with us working on some projects right now, which is why we are not in our normal location. So yeah, we're doing really good. I've talked a lot today, so
okay.
I'm a little
Yeah.
bit burnt out on that, but I'm going to do my best for you guys.
Well, I want to give a shout out real quick. I see JT is in the chat. That's always a great thing because JT is an incredible resource for us as well. So if there's any tough questions, just know that we may direct those at JT.
That actually happens a lot.
A lot. So JT is like, I have like my voice assistant named JT, right? So I can just call upon his brain when necessary. But so just JT, you just know.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Appreciate that, brother.
Shout out to Mason as well.
Good to meet you too,
It was
Mason.
absolutely great to see you there
was
too
awesome.
and meet you. I wish we had more time, as we talked about, but the CES is just crazy, especially when we're working it. We don't really have that time, but it was good to see you guys too.
Yep.
James Thompson, hello, welcome.
What's up, James?
Good to have you here as well. And we can talk a little bit about how the CES experience was. Further down the line, I think.
But we'll get to it. It'll pop up.
Someone was here. I asked about. All right, so Chris says, from last time I was here, when I asked about my phone, my friends should get, she got a Sony phone and she loves it. Yeah, there we go. 18 and a half brownie points for you, sir.
There it is. Oh, wow. That half makes all the difference.
Non-redeemable for anything of value. But no,
love
seriously, that's awesome. I love to hear that. We do appreciate it.
Yep.
And that's awesome to hear that you're kind of talking about that stuff because, I mean, Xperia doesn't really get a lot of the love that it deserves.
Right.
It's kind of disappointing sometimes because there are so many people. I've worked with some content creators that just talk about phones all the time, and talking to one of them, shout out to Jay. I don't know if he'll ever see this, but he's like, yeah, they don't get the love that they deserve. So,
Right.
But we appreciate to see that. That's quite a bit out here in this group. So that's awesome.
100%.
Cool. Sam, welcome back. Good to see you. Oh, welcome back. There you are.
Yeah.
Periffs. Got to pay attention here. All right.
And we'll dive in.
Yeah.
We got called out last time, by the way,
Why?
because we spent so many minutes.
Oh, we did.
Giving a
That's
shout out.
true.
It happens. We spent so much
We
time
did.
giving a shout out to everybody that it was like it's 10 minutes in and you guys haven't done any support. So we'll try to do better.
Yes.
But we definitely want you all to understand that we truly appreciate you all being here with us.
Yeah,
so we'll do
but
better.
definitely throw those questions in the chat so we can have something to answer. Because right now we don't have any support things to answer yet, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because we have other things to talk about.
Facts. All right.
All right.
We can dive.
So let's kick out. We kind of have a consistency with our order here and release radar. And I know we briefly talked about it before.
Yes.
We just had a question come up. So I'll let you take this, and then we got a question in from James. But
All right.
we had
So
one very special release you did a great video for.
it's a great video. Thank you, Derek. Release radar. Yeah. So let's let's talk a little bit about SRS XV500. Right. So not to go too long-winded on this, because that's what I do. Initially, we talked about wireless speakers or even our party speakers not having a release until a different time of year.
Well, that's what we assumed. That's just kind of been the trend, and then of course,
And then it drops. And
yeah.
I had the opportunity to spend some time with the XV500. And first of all, our party speaker game is on point.
It is.
So a couple of things that I want you all to know about this speaker that you can draw your own comparisons to what's out there from competitive models. But things like battery life, which is, a party speaker with limited battery life is like a joke, right?
yeah.
So for the XV500 to have up to 25 hours of battery life, that first of all, that was legit, right? And I just had this experience. I have the XV900, 900 also, and it became the hit of our New Year's and holiday party.
Nice.
Because of the dual mics and karaoke. So it was nice to see dual mic inputs carry over into the XV500, which one can double as a guitar microphone, like
A guitar or a
Guitar.
guitar?
sometimes the Texas comes out of me. Sorry. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I try to conceal it, right? But anyway, but it's audio performance, the speakers, the drivers, massive. So everything in the range, right, from high, mid, and low, it delivers. So if you're in the market for a more portable party speaker that packs a punch, you guys should take a look at the XV500. I love it. It is super, super dope.
Cool. Yep. That's released. So let's go to some things here. First, we got to say hey-yo to Joey B. Welcome back. And STE, it was absolutely amazing to meet you as well. Glad, similarly, I wish we had the time. Oh, man, that was so frustrating for me, but it was great to meet you as well. And Game Enthusiast, I know you were here before at some point, maybe a couple episodes back. Looking forward to screen size adjustment update for the A95L.
Yep.
That'll be awesome to see. Still don't have anything definitive on when, but yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic TV, and us rocking, I hope, is the case, or Sony. We'll take credit for Sony.
I'm going to.
But I appreciate that. And now, the question.
Okay.
And I was kind of reading it, and I'm kind of like, oh, boy, this is going to be an interesting one.
Okay.
James Thompson, thank you for your question. The X93L has a higher score for upscaling than other Sony TVs, but the X93L does not have the XR Clear image. So how does it get such a high score? On that particular website.
Right.
At least,
To be fair, and Derek is always really good at saying that we don't always know all the answers. So I'll put that disclaimer out there right now. We don't always know the answers, and I don't know enough about that publication's or that group's testing. They do a lot of different things, right? And a lot of it starts with what picture mode you put it in. And for example, and this is just me theorizing, right? So when one TV may handle or do upscaling, for example, differently in whatever their picture mode they put it in versus another. But that doesn't mean that in a different picture mode, it might be flipped. I'm glad that that's what's being said about X93L.
Yeah, that's interesting. I actually had not heard of that. So I will have to kind of inquire as to why that might be the case. And interestingly, that is one of the tough things when it comes to a lot of, not all of them, but many of these review sites. It's tough because sometimes they're not necessarily reviewing real content.
Right.
Or they have specific contents designed to like torture the TV and really put it, which is cool because it does give you some interesting perspectives, but sometimes it is just the selection of that content that just makes a difference. But definitely I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be something I think we could probably try to look into and maybe talk about on the next one.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So, Luca, I'll have a latte. I think JT had the last oat latte. Is that a thing? I don't do the latte thing, but sorry, we're all out at the moment. But good to have you here. All right, Multiplayer World, looking forward to the new small speakers this year. My 5-year-old X then continues on. XB32 finally died. Aw, that's sad. Well, yeah. So hopefully we'll have some new stuff for you. Just obviously subscribe and follow, and somebody's entered the building.
Yep. 100%.
Is there somebody that's coming in here?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Do we know?
We'll see. It's okay.
I don't know.
We'll keep going.
All right. So, so while we're looking for some next stuff, let's talk very quickly about some updates.
Okay. Yes.
Updates. And this one is really kind of a simple one, I guess, is the right word for it. Because there haven't been a ton that I've seen recently.
Right.
But the one that kept popping up on my TV that
Tell the truth.
that I just dismissed
There it is.
numerous times. I knew what it was going to do, but it was just one of those things like, well, not at the moment. I am just turned on my game console. It is time to game. I'm not going to update my remote, which wouldn't have had any effect on it anyway.
Right.
And whatever.
Right.
There's been I kind of gave it away. There's been an update for many of the TV Bravia remotes. It seems like a very simple thing to just, dismiss.
Dismiss.
And there's a lot of times, and I know we were talking about this the other day about notifications on your TV. They mean something. They're there for a purpose.
100%.
Even just to inform you about something, or in this case, an update for your remote. Like, it has a purpose. I know you looked a little bit into the purpose of that update.
Yeah, I did, because unlike Derek, I actually performed my update, and I
did eventually. Okay.
I did eventually. Yeah. And the cool thing about it is I knew what it did, but I wanted to confirm. So just the most recent Sony remote update, what it did is it improved functionality or responsiveness with respect to its Bluetooth capability. And let me just, because a lot of people may not know, Sony remotes can connect to the TV in one of two ways.
Right.
It can do traditional IR connection, or it can do a Bluetooth connection, which basically pairs that remote specifically for that TV. So you don't have to aim at the TV when you want to, make adjustments.
Yep.
It actually can work that way. But anyway, apparently the engineers found a way to speed up the performance of the Bluetooth responsiveness when turning
Nice.
volume up, volume down, and all the other functions or whatever.
Yep.
So it is a small thing, but it was absolutely noticeable.
Yeah,
to me.
it's and that's one of those things. Like sometimes it's worth just those updates are there for a reason.
Right.
And I think this is just a good time for those that haven't been around, because we have so many things to talk about in the different episodes, and sometimes we get away because we want to talk to you guys, which is I love that stuff. But I want to bring back just the reminder of the Sony Support app.
Yes.
The Sony Support app is absolutely fantastic. You can put in the models of the product that you have, and it can then send you an update on whether you have an update for that product. And it'll give you notification. Even sometimes it's sort of like did you know
Right.
type of things on there as well. So it's awesome, especially if you own a camera or something like that that isn't connected to say, hey, there's an update. TVs are easy because they're connected and they'll tell you.
Right.
But a camera won't tell you.
Right.
And there are some great improvements on some of those things through those updates. So make sure you check that out. Always good to know.
Can I piggyback off of that? Because you
sure.
did open up the door.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know where this is going, but okay.
Only because you said camera. And if you haven't, and we've talked about this a couple of months ago, if you do have some of the cameras that are compatible with the Creators app, that solve that problem. So now with the
Right. That's
Creators
true.
app, sure, yeah, it's a digi. We could say that's a digi. All right. With the cameras that are compatible with the Creators app, now you can wirelessly update your camera from the cell phone the exact same way you update wireless speakers or wireless headphones, all of that, the wireless firmware update change.
Yeah.
It's dope. And so also when you have an update that's available, now the Creators app can notify you that there's an update available for the camera. So that in addition to that app, it's another way that we can be able to make sure that our stuff is taken care of.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's great information.
Yep.
Cool. My chat just literally just exploded. Like I didn't see any of these things. I was like, why is everybody so quiet?
Yeah.
Don't they like us anymore?
Yeah.
But then it all just sort of appeared. JT, of course, putting in his brain there for about the upscaling. That's the first time I'm reading it. But let's talk about it out really quickly. Upscaling is subjective. That's very true. It's scored by looking at the picture and giving it a score. That makes sense. It's not measured by a meter. So that's also true. So the better contrast of the XR backlight master drive and the X93L will help clarity. That's a good point, because one of the things that's interesting about contrast control is it adds sort of a sense of depth and almost a sharpness, even though it's not really true. I remember working in retail. I'm going to time travel with me for a little bit.
Okay, I'm with you.
And behind where our desk was, they had two TVs.
Okay.
One was an OLED, and the other was an LED. One was 4K, one was 1080p. And it was, people were like, oh my gosh, the OLED looks so much better. It was the 1080p. Which is interesting. It was the LED, and this is, gosh, how many years ago was this? This would have been, I don't know, like 12 years ago, maybe, something like that. It was right around the beginning of, I don't know.
That
The-
plant, the plant literally
OLEDs
did
got out of
nothing
my way.
to. The
Of the
plant
OLEDs.
did nothing to except for still my focus. Is the only thing
That's
the plant
true.
did.
Yeah.
it's
Sorry
okay.
about that for those that noticed it. I'm sure JT was just the
Yeah.
focus. But yeah, okay. So Joey B asking, is this an actual set or the new Torchlight? This is actually real. Here's a thing. Yeah, but I love that because Torchlight. Just to shout them out very quickly again, because I could get so into the weeds because they are absolutely awesome. If you don't know what Torchlight is, here's the very quick version of it. They're a new group to the Sony family in terms of pre-production, and they take it to a whole crazy level. They can actually create a 3D realistic environment in Unreal Engine, virtual environment. Yeah, it's realistic, but it's virtual. Okay. Details. I don't know if anybody can even hear John or not, but anyway, he was challenging me, and I had to put him in his place. But no, I'm sorry.
Nice.
But yeah, so what they can do is, let's say you wanted to make a movie and you had this great concept, but in terms of planning and getting legal and safety, security, and travel, all these things, just to find out if this shot in, let's say, Rome is going to work, they can recreate it in Unreal Engine, and you can actually go to Torchlight and navigate around this place with a virtual camera. It's not even a real camera,
Right.
with a display that looks like you're actually there.
That's insane. When you first
It's
told me about
nuts.
that, it blew my mind.
Yeah, seeing
So I
it
had to go
there
see
with
it.
this little dolly that they had, and they're like, "Oh, dude, let's pretend that the sun is over here," and they just change it. It's so cool. But yeah, check them out; they're awesome,
Dope.
and even them as a team, they're amazing. Sorry, that got crazy.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good.
Where are we here?
Malcolm, Malcolm brought up something. Malcolm says, I want the menu bar to not cause the streaming app to close. It's gotten better over the years, but my TV is probably 4 years old now. I know exactly what you're talking about, where you open up the menu and you have it on something, you want to make adjustments to what you're watching, and then it goes to like default TV tuning or whatever. It has gotten better, my friend. I have not tested it recently, but I'll definitely do that, and we can follow up. But yeah, I feel your pain.
Yeah,
That's,
awesome.
That's legit.
I do want to call us out because there's a sad face on it. I don't like seeing a sad face. And I really don't want to butcher the name. I'm scared to try, but I'm going to try. Roboter Freunde?
Sure.
I apologize if that's totally wrong. But it says, hi, why is Sony not really care for IBO owners in development and expanding? I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that. We actually just had 2 updates in the last couple of months for firmware for IBO. What I would recommend, just to make sure that you have all the latest information, is make sure you check out ibocommunity.com. Tons of great information there. We do support them to a degree with that group, but we don't normally work with a lot of what they do aside from supporting some of their videos.
Right.
If you do have some specific stuff, make sure you check that out though, and see if you can get that information. Otherwise, let us know in the comments too if we can try to find some more information out for you. If there's something that you're looking for, or just voicing your opinion, which we would love to hear.
Absolutely.
That's backed up by Multipolar World. Same question blows my mind. The IBO is still only sold in a grand total of 2 countries. I know that there are a lot of, I don't want to say, laws. Government regulations.
Yep.
Because of what IBO is able to do
The tech.
and incapable of, right? Not that it is doing these things, but because it does have camera and it has the ability to do facial recognition. I know there are some governmental regulations controlling that they don't want to just have that out there, which is sad. I've worked with IBO a lot, and it is so cool. It is amazing, and it's frustrating at the same time because it does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Right.
It's a puppy that you have to teach, and much like a puppy, like a live puppy, they don't always listen. It's really cool. But yeah, I agree that is kind of sad that's the case. I don't know for sure if that's 100% the answer, but it could very well be a big part of it.
Yep.
All right.
Mr. Beckerman has a question.
I didn't see it. Where's it at?
I got you. Will Sony ever allow customers to reposition the quick access menu or the input menu up to the top of the screen instead of the bottom? Some like that location better. I will tell you that is not a topic that I think has come up a lot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that a lot of people wouldn't want that flexibility.
That's true. I just think it's because it's so common that's just where it is. Generally speaking, that's just become the standard, I guess.
Yeah, because even your TV
Interesting.
broadcast stuff, it's like the crawl. I think that's what they call that. That's it's the lower third or at the
information.
Very,
is just
it's all that
typically
always
there.
at the bottom. But
Our comments thing is on,
and-
on the bottom as well.
And Michael, you know us, right? Like we'll feed that information. And we'll see if they may have heard that from someone. So keep it coming. I love it.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. And yeah, why no expanding in reference to IBO? I think it's the regulations on that. I can't say for sure, but definitely reach out to the IBO community. You might actually be able to kind of ask that question there too, or there might be some other people talking about it.
Sorry, I saw Luca's comment and it just made me smile. Luca. Yeah, that's a flex. Enjoy, my friend.
Yes,
yeah, appreciate
absolutely.
you stopping in and hanging out with us and you rock that Sony hoodie. Okay,
That's right.
It's my guy.
Tell them what's up.
Yes. There we go. Okay.
Cool.
Chris has a question.
Hey, Sony, I have a BDP S3700. Old, I know. It has an app with enhanced features, but it says it is set up, and I didn't. I'm assuming didn't set up. How do you unlink the information from the past owner? Ooh. Could you do, would a factory reset may do that?
Factory reset should do that.
Yeah.
It should wipe everything.
I would assume, are you going to look it up?
Yes.
I would expect it to be in the settings. There should be an option for a reset. I haven't done that on a Blu-ray player myself, but we're pretty good at it. Larry's going to look that up at the moment to give us an idea. And while he's doing that, I'm going to quickly cover a very quick did you know.
Okay.
So, did you know with Sony cameras about picture profile? I know a lot of times we talk a lot about creative looks, which are very simple effects that you can add to have a very specific look that's kind of baked into the actual file when you record video or something like that, which is awesome. It makes it really easy, especially for people that are just trying to get into more of a creative style for how they shoot. But picture profile offers a lot of flexibility, more so if you're going to do some editing. But there's also picture profile 11, which is S-Cinetone. A lot of people don't know about S-Cinetone, which is very commonly used by a lot of directors to get a very nice soft look. The nice thing is that you don't have to do any post-processing for that particular profile.
Right.
So if you want to get a little bit more out of your camera just to try some new things, especially if you're shooting in any of the cine formats or log shooting, check out different picture profiles. There is a whole list of what each picture profile does. And a lot of them you can customize as well with your gamma correction and things like that to get the look that you're looking for. But if you want to get a little bit more out of your filming, that might be a good way to do it.
I like it.
Cool. All right. Have you tried this? What are you talking about?
John, producer John helped me out. Yes, that was the link, John. If you can, I'm sorry, I'm not provisioned as an admin or anybody of power on here, so it's like, oh, Larry from Sony wants to put a link in there. Delete.
Maybe you might be able to put it after the fact.
Yeah.
We'll try that. So after this
Look, John's got it.
never
there it
mind.
is.
John did it.
There it is.
Redemption.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
what
I
that
appreciate
is.
you doing that, man.
That's awesome.
And we're out.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You want to do your another did you know? Because I know we have another very simple one to kind of talk about
Sure.
that came up as a question recently as well.
Sure. What was the question?
It was it was about how do you set up next gen TV?
Yeah. I was just kidding. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I was just
I
playing
figured.
around. Yeah. Next gen TV it's been a topic that's come up a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like how you set it up, and it's because there's some excitement around it, and so many features that you get, and the ability to get this, high quality, and then
Mm-hmm.
also spatial audio over the air is incredible. So if you need a pen and paper to take these notes down on how you set it up, we'll do this. Okay, you ready? Step 1, plug in a next-gen compatible antenna to the rear of the TV. Done.
Boom. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go through your channel setup. Is it just, seriously, you go back through your setup process and you go to channel setup, and then after you have that, auto program, yep. And it'll start searching the channels, and based upon the area that you're in will dictate how many channel point this number, point that number, point this number you'll receive with that. But you should get some very, very solid programming. Now, there is still further development that's happening with next gen TV, and it's in different markets. There's a different experience. I know in Arizona, it's a huge thing there. So they have a lot of the features, but you may be in some other part of the country that just has a couple.
Yep.
So
yeah, they haven't
it's
really
pending.
rolled it out by me yet, but I know it's an ongoing process. But I never really thought about that people might have that question, because it sounds like a whole new thing that's different, because it does so many unique and very cool things. But yeah, it's as simple as just make sure your antenna is compatible. I guess that's going to be very important as well.
Yes.
But then you can just run that setup.
Yep, very good.
Very quickly, just want to shout out Malcolm again. He's got a little comment. FX30 needs an auto off-on when the screen closes, same as the ZV-1 did. always forgetting to turn the switch off. If they can't give us a blinking tally light or something when it's not recorded, love the free LUTs. Kind of looks like it kind of got cut off, but
Yeah.
no, that's interesting. I honestly didn't really think about that on that
share
one.
that.
And I think we'll definitely share that for sure because it is a great idea, especially because most people that are shooting with an FX30 are, I don't want to say this and sound mean, but usually might be more serious about what they're trying to capture versus somebody with a ZV-1 that
Well
might be
done.
just doing basic vlogging.
You navigated that.
Yeah,
nicely.
yeah, because an FX30 is serious business. And
Right,
it's
it
like
is.
we need to capture this, and maybe might even a lot of people use it for their work and stuff like that. So
100%.
cool, and love the free LUTs. Yeah, that's awesome. Lookup
Yep.
tables are great to color correct and really kind of fine tune what your images look like. Cool.
And Chris, I'll follow up, my friend. If that didn't work, if you've tried that and that didn't work, let me follow up. Can you do us a favor, Chris? And this goes for anyone. If you have a question and we don't have the answer for it here while we're live, once we're over, in order for us to be able to respond back to you so you can get the answer, we need you to put your question in the comments section so that we can respond to you directly and get you the information that you need. And also, Chris, if you need to send an email as a reminder, just for everybody knows, there is an after hours support at Sony.com email that Derek and I monitor, and we can also give you some support there as well.
Yep. Cool. And speaking of that, because some of these questions have been coming in a lot on these comments repeatedly, so we want to talk a little bit about a bite-sized guide.
Yeah.
This was we had a very long conversation with some very smart people to really kind of get a better idea of how to answer the situation because it can be a very complex situation. So I'll kind of set it up, and I know you've got some answers to share. When you have an advanced receiver like one of our AZ whatever ES lineup receivers that offer so many options, so many channels, you have different options of how you configure the speakers that you have.
Right.
I never really thought about the variations you can have. And we had some really great questions about, here's my setup, can I do this?
Right.
And I was like, ooh, maybe? I don't know. So we actually had to go to some experts and found an amazing document that we should have known about, to be fair. But now we're going to share that information with you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, so thank you, John. Put it on the screen. I appreciate that. This is basically your installation guide. And although our GUI is super intuitive, there are certain things that the GUI doesn't know. Like, yes, you have in-ceiling speakers, but are you using them as a specific channel, like a rear channel, or are you designating those as Atmos or Atmos or DTSX? So this guy that you're looking at, and I'm sure John is going to scroll here for a second. The first thing I want you to notice is at the very top, there's a ton of abbreviations. And on those abbreviations, this kind of lets you know this is like a glossary, if you will.
Yeah.
As you're going through the different possible speaker patterns, these abbreviations are super important. So are we talking front heights, top front speakers, so on and so forth? So as you're scrolling down this speaker patterns and terminal document for your installation guide, what you want to do is keep an eye on the channel configuration. And what I love about this so much is at the very top, it lets you know which speakers you're wanting to have active. Fronts, centers, surrounds, height 1, height 2, so on and so forth. And especially this becomes complicated, which is why people have asked us this question so much.
Yep.
When you introduce S-Center Sync, as it's on here, or Acoustic Center Sync, when you're connecting either a receiver or a soundbar, one of our Sony receivers or soundbars to a compatible TV, it becomes very interesting in how it changes the availability of certain channels. So using this as a guide is super important for that. So we'll drop the link in the description for you. It is a great reference document for anyone who has AVR or anything like that. 100% make sure you reference this as you're going through your setup.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of blew my mind. And ST says immersive like this. I was like, whoa, the amount of information was crazy. And even for somebody to say, well, here, in one particular instance, he had everything already hooked up. So he's like, what are my options with it? Like, oh, well, you actually have 2 different options based on how you want to get the sound experience. So it was good to know. And yeah, this is actually a fantastic tool to share out. So hopefully that helps you or anyone else that you know that might need it.
Hope so.
It would be awesome.
It was we had a bunch of AVR questions like in the past month. It was insane.
It was kind of fun though, because I learned a lot as well. Because they can be so complex, and I'm limited in what I have.
Right.
So I can't really test a lot of that stuff out. Sony could send me some more stuff. Yeah, I don't think so. Hint. I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, we're here to support you guys, so we'll do whatever we can to do that, and we're gonna learn along the way as well.
Absolutely, love it.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. I do want to know about this. So you have a fact to share that I don't even know what this is going to be. So it better be good.
Wow. I mean, I don't know how good it is.
No pressure.
But I did receive a call this morning. Very, very interesting call. And it was about an X77L.
Okay.
So there was a customer that reached out to one of our talented market leaders that are out there and asked him a question. He says, hey, I bought an X77L and I would like to take advantage of Google Meet. However, I noticed that the X77L is not compatible with Bravia Cam. I'm confused.
Interesting.
How can I use Google Meet if the TV isn't compatible with Bravia Cam? It's crazy. It's a simple question.
It is.
Because this is something we have never talked about.
We don't talk about this at all, actually.
So for years, our TVs have supported webcams. And more recently, it's also supported like for example, the RX0 small camera, also our RX line of point and shoot cameras, and the ZV line. The TV recognizes those cameras as webcams. So for those that have an X77L or want to be able to take advantage of Google Meet, for example, or on some of the other TVs, Zoom, for example, which not too long ago was introduced, but doesn't own a Bravia Cam, but has, I almost said the brand, has a compatible webcam from a very popular maker that's laying around. Or if you have a ZV-1, for example, you can still take advantage of that feature. It's super awesome. So I know it's a small thing.
It is.
I didn't want to build it up.
But you're right. It is one of those things that I don't know the last time that came up, aside from when initially Bravia Cam was announced. And we had some of those like, well, what's the purpose? And obviously it has tons of things that it can do. But then the question came up, well, wait, is this an option? Like, oh, you actually can do it with other types of devices on times as well.
Right.
And just to kind of add a little bit to that, and not that this is a frequently asked question, but I guess it's sort of a did you know that many of you probably already do know. I guess a bonus, right? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is you mentioned using something like the ZV-1. USB streaming is super, super simple to do with so many of our cameras. And I will tell you what, I got to give a ton of credit to our boss. He's been using it for all of his calls.
Yes.
And oftentimes we'll get on calls with some people outside of Sony or some parts of Sony that don't typically work with product the way we do. And they're every time like, wow.
Right.
Why does your camera look so good?
Right.
Like, well, USB streaming with a camera with a lens.
Right.
And sometimes people think that in order to really take advantage of a camera, you have to be taking pictures or shooting video. Because so much is virtual now, and especially if you want to stand out from the crowd, whether it's on an interview or doing meetings, there's just something about looking super crisp and clear that just people just gravitate to that.
Yep.
And it's super easy to do because it's literally you set the setting and you plug it in. Or some of the newer ones like the Alpha 7 IV, you plug it in and it says, hey, what do you want to do?
Right.
USB streaming, thank you very much. And then it's set, and I can just select it and use it on many things.
You know what I learned from that? What you just said. I thank you. First, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Because when I have my performance review, I'm going to make sure I look my best.
That's right.
It might tip the scales a little bit, right?
It won't. It won't.
It probably won't. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
So, I mean, I know that was most of what we had.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of wind things down a little bit. Very quickly, just want to go back to, was it Multipolar World's question about CES? Just how was it?
Oh yeah,
Was that his
yeah.
question?
I think it was.
Yes, it was. All right. So just to kind of quickly talk about that as well. CES is an experience, that's for sure. Unfortunately, it's a little bit different and I would say restricting when you work the show versus getting to go and check everything out, which we did get to work it. But it was very cool. There's some awesome stuff. And I know we've talked about this before, but I have actually heard it recently, but kind of people asking, well, why don't you have the consumer products at Sony? And I know many of these folks have already been on here, so we don't need to go into all the details. But essentially, people know that Sony can offer incredible consumer products.
Yes.
It's not a question. It's going to happen.
Right.
And when we're going to do our events, we'll have those things. But there's so many things that people don't know that we do.
Right.
And that's really what CES is really doing for us now, is showing people how involved we are with the industry as a whole and how we're kind of changing the direction of certain technology or implementing new technologies and just coming up with very creative ways to allow creators to create their content the way they want to and make their dreams come true or their visions come to life. So
Yeah, it's funny because if you think about what a lot of the great people we get to meet talk about, a lot of people always want to talk about TVs, right? But what accelerates the innovation that exists in a TV is the ability to create the content that's going to be displayed on the TV. So all of our efforts on delivering realism from that content creation side, you mentioned Torchlight and those things that we do with virtual production, the better that gets and the better our cameras get, the more it challenges the TV development side to continue to raise the bar.
Yeah.
And we all benefit when that happens.
absolutely. And that's what's most important.
Absolutely. Yep.
Jack says some people have to work way harder to look as good as you naturally, Derek. Lies.
Truth to that.
Lies. Shout out to
Yeah,
Jack.
shout out to
though.
Jack, yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I appreciate it because I know you probably got about 8.34 billion things to do.
Yeah.
Give or take one or
Well,
two.
since he didn't compliment me, we're going to move on. Yeah.
Yeah,
for real.
exactly.
A game enthusiast asked a great question, and if we can both, I guess, give our opinion, this will be interesting.
After we answer,
Yeah,
I would like to hear it from everybody in the comments as well.
absolutely. So, game enthusiast asked,
Great question.
bigger screen or better picture quality? Which would you guys choose, Derek?
Initially, I was like, that's a tough one. But knowing who I am, and actually currently, the TV that I currently am using, even though I have another option, I got to go with better quality. I have a 65A1E that I bought many moons ago, which is a fantastic, it works amazingly. It looks great. I have a 55A80L now. But I will work on the A80L. Now, granted, it is smaller, but it's the improvements over time that have come with it. And yes, they're both OLED. They both share that same capability in terms of black level, but obviously brightness has changed over time and the improvements of processing and all that good stuff. But if I was given the choice to go, I definitely would probably lean more towards the picture quality
Yeah.
side.
You want to take a guess at what I would say?
Oh,
You're going to
gosh.
be wrong.
I know. That's the thing.
You
is
have
'cause
it's a 50-50 shot, but you're going to be wrong.
I want to say both because you're just going to get both anyway.
It's okay.
My first thought was that you would say size, but I'm going to switch it to picture quality.
My guy knows me.
Yes.
It is absolutely picture quality. I have a 65-inch TV that is of a higher level, if you will, than an 85-inch TV that I have. It's just not the same. I appreciate what? What did I say? Did I say something wrong? Oh, okay. Shout out to FX3s then. For me, it's 100% picture quality. Because I watch a ton of TV. But I also am that person that people don't like when they're, trying to qualify me for a product. They ask that question, well, what do you watch? And my answer is like literally everything. I'll watch as much network news as I will, streaming content or documentaries or sporting events. I literally watch everything. And picture quality is sort of like that consistent factor that makes me enjoy all of that content. So because it's coming from different sources, right? So yeah.
Awesome. And we see a couple people in here, better picture quality, no matter the size,
Mm-hmm.
picture quality, smaller also makes it look better, which is true, right? Because you're not stretching out the pixel distances and stuff like that. Because a lot of people forget that a 55-inch 4K has the same pixel count as an 85
Right.
4K.
Right.
So yeah, it definitely can make a difference, and viewing distance also
Right.
matters as well.
Yep.
I do want to very briefly talk. Michael Beckerman, great question. Do we have a formal date set yet for when Sony will announce their new 2024 TV lineup? Yes. Joey B says, as a creative entertainment company, the brand has evolved. Absolutely true. Did I do that okay?
It's
Skim
great.
past it.
I
Let's just
love
keep
it,
going.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the answer is yes. Somebody does know. We'll just have to wait and see. All right. So a lot of people kind of agree with picture quality, and of course that we agree as well. And I think that's why most of these people are here. It's like that's what people really like Sony for, is picture
Right.
quality. That's what we do.
Right.
And anybody can make just a massive TV.
Right.
It's been done.
Right.
But it's what you do with it that makes a difference.
100%.
And that's what we do.
100%.
I know we got to wind down here real quick. There
absolutely.
was what did I see? I saw something else I wanted to ask or I don't even know what I'm. Yes, where did it go? I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, wait.
Or not, well, one of the most recent.
Didn't I? Why can't I see it? I don't see it anymore. I read it.
It's gone. No, it's gone.
Well, Play Memories,
Uh-huh.
right? And I know I don't recall everything that it did, but we do have the new
Creators app.
Creators app that does allow for that. And I know I recently helped somebody with a one-on-one consultation question that they wanted to just get a little bit more information on. Well, there it is. Okay.
There it is.
And they asked about, is there a way that they can shoot on their camera or even their phone and then edit it on their computer later? Like, yes, you can use the Creators app and you can upload
Yep.
to the cloud and then download it on your computer.
Yes.
So definitely check out the Creators app.
Yeah, Creators app is great. I love it. Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I think it is it.
I've talked so much today.
You have.
And I still have more to go.
It's good, though.
But this is awesome, and I want to thank everybody for being here again. Let us know in the comments what you would like us to talk about next time, and that can either be now before we leave, or if you're watching this after the fact, or even if you're here now and you have an idea later, throw that in the comments as well, because we will definitely see that and check that out, and just know that Larry and I are committed to not only supporting you guys and everyone you know who may have questions. Please let them know that we exist. Other forums or other places, social places that you might be on.
Right.
Let them know about this, and we want to support those people as well too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We appreciate you guys, and our bosses want to make sure that you guys appreciate us.
Yep.
So that's awesome. Yeah, that's it. It's been great. This has
Yep.
been a great week so far, and we're not done.
nope,
So
we're not.
yeah,
Getting
just getting started. So that's great. So please, everyone, have a great rest of your week. Hop in the.
Sorry, I just saw Malcolm's. Let's see an A93 hands-on. We will see if we can do that because I would love to do that. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. We'll try to make that happen for sure. So
Sounds like that's going to happen then.
we'll do our best to make that happen for sure. That's a good call. Okay.
We definitely appreciate you all and continue as Derek said, we'll continue to do our thing to support you
Yep.
all. And any comments, hop in the
Oh man,
section
lots of
and let-
Xperia
yeah.
questions. We'll see what we can find out. If there's some things that we do have to talk about or that can share. So we will keep that in mind. And yes, Chris, I'm sorry, it is almost over. What? Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like we've been here very long. Honestly,
haven't.
this time flies.
This is our shortest show ever.
This is.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we got some stuff to do. But we definitely needed to make sure we made some time to hang out with you guys and appreciate the questions, the comments, and we'll definitely look forward to the next one. For sure.
Apparently, I have some coffee orders to fill.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll get that done. All right, guys. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
all
so much.
Appreciate
Yep.
it. Take care.
See you
Be
guys
well.
later. Take
See you
care.
soon.